Welcome into week 7 of the Replies, where we break down the most viral moments each week of the Big Ten football season. I'm Emily Eamon, your host, joined by former Husker Kenny Bell and former Buckeye Joshua Perry. Guys, first up, one of the biggest wins in Purdue football history, as they put it, knocking the number 2 out of Iowa. And one of the big reasons, receiver David Bell, back from injury, popped off. 240 receiving yards on the day. KB, how big of a difference maker was Bell here?
Oh my goodness, good cousin Bell. What a night with a stat line I couldn't even sniff. 11 for 240 and a tutter. Another 200-yard, or it's his first 200-yard game. Just a fantastic player. I don't think he got as much recognition or as much shine because Rondale Moore was in offense last year, but this kid can play. Definitely a dude you're going to be seeing making plays on Sundays. That's without a doubt.
Yeah, the thing about him, man, is it can come at any point in the field. Like, you watch him catch a short pass and take it and just run, or you watch him get behind a defense and go up and high point a football. The dude is unguardable, and obviously his stat line against Iowa showed it.
Great game. As an Iowa fan, go to the NFL, would you please? Please?
I gotta see.
Even Iowa fans seem to love his game despite the loss. JP, what does it say about him?
Yeah, I mean, if I were that Iowa fan, I'd be saying the exact same thing. Like, please just go to the NFL already. You have cooked my team for the past 3 years. And this guy is doing some foreshadowing here, but I'm 100% sure that Bell is going to make a lot of money playing football professionally.
Next up, a big trick play from the Michigan State-Indiana game where punter turned tight end Tyler Hunt launches one to quarterback Peyton Thorne on the sideline, who showed he's got some hands. Joshua, I want to know, on trick plays like these, where does your mind go on defense?
Yeah, you got to be on your keys, man. I've been on either side of a trick play. One where I sniffed it out right away, and the other one where I was looking sad and sorry because they got us. But this is the crazy thing about this one. You talked about a tight end, punter turned tight end, throwing it to the quarterback, puts it up in the spot where only the quarterback can catch it. You get the nice toe tap there. Xavier Henderson goes in the post game and says that Tyler Hunt is actually left-handed, but he threw the ball with his right hand. That, like, what is going on here? This is probably the most amazing play that I've seen out of Michigan State. And this is a team that scored on their first play from scrimmage in like 2 consecutive games. So here we are.
Punter throwing it with the wrong hand and the quarterback catching it with no gloves on. Something special is happening with Sparty, JP.
Absolutely wild, man. Mel Tucker's got that thing figured out.
Next up, Rutgers head coach Greg Schiano welcomed in spooky season by fully disappearing in a huddle. Still trying to figure this one out, but it's similar to former Michigan State head coach Mark D'Antonio a few years back. JP, can you explain any part of this to me?
Hell no. No, I cannot. I am a big fan of optical illusions and like card tricks and magic tricks and stuff. I'm like a big old kid. I watched this legitimately 40 times to try to see what the hell was going on, and my small brain couldn't figure it out.
It reminds me of that internet video of the kids with the basketball. I don't know if you ever saw that, but like the kid goes up for a layup and the other one blocks it and the ball just disappears. There's got to be something going on with the camera here, unless Schiano and D'Antonio are just Penn and Teller and have been fooling us this whole time.
They're superheroes.
Next up, my Cats got the homecoming win, the first conference win of the season. Quarterback Brian Hilinski looked solid all day. He strung together a few good games now with a few great plays like this. KB, do you think he's kind of solidified himself as our guy?
I'd like to think so. The Wildcats usually thrive under, one quarterback system. As much as I respect and love everything that they've done under Coach Fitz, I think they really groove the best when they have their guy under center and they know what they're doing. It's hard to work that 2 quarterback system. Good on Northwestern getting a W at home. The Cats haven't made an appearance on the Replies this year, so I'm pumped to see them.
Yeah, Cats doing their thing. It's always fun too when you get Fitz after a victory because the press conferences are always a little bit spicy, and I'm here for him.
He's the best. Post press conference, he just every time.
Every time.
KB, sorry to do it to you again, but the Huskers cannot grind this one out against Minnesota, but in part due to this insane touchdown catch by Chris Autman-Bell. After missing the first few games of the season, he's been a huge part of this offense. Kenny, how big of a playmaker is he?
I mean, another great play by another cousin Bell. Unfortunately, had to be against my Huskers, man. Like, this was brutal. I was up in the press box with Rue, and I was astonished because it was a great, phenomenal catch. First of all, high pointed this thing, defender in his face, just absolute moss job. And a point in the game that really gave the Gophers some great momentum at home. So as far as playmakers go, he's up there in the conference without a doubt. Coming back off the injury, he's making some great strides, and this is a perfect example of how he can impact a football game.
It's always funny, man. Why are the great wide receivers in the Big Ten Conference bells?
Man,
you got Cousins all over the daggone place, bro. What is going on here?
Good cousin Bells.
Yeah, the good cousin Bells. Where are the bad cousin Bells at? But talking about this guy specifically, he's been huge. Obviously, his performance stands alone, but Tanner Morgan needed this guy back.
Yeah,
he's been so much better with the return of his buddy Chris Autman-Bell, and I think this can become something that grows in the remainder of the season. So I'm excited about it.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of The Replies. We'll catch you next week.